forgetting these things. Basically, personal learning network is making contacts, and education. I'll tell you what, you guys can find jobs and all sorts of stuff if you have a big enough network. Twitter's big for educators. I don't like Facebook, but Facebook, so on and so forth. And there's all sorts of places. And so we're going to ask you to create a personal learning network. And they're going to give you different places to organize it and resources. I've got a tutorial for this. And you pick a tool to organize, Google or so on and so forth. You can use Delicious is one. I don't like it. Evernote's good. Anybody use Evernote? Evernote's a good one because you can do something on your computer and also copy that on your phone, on your iPad, or on your portable and desktop. So Evernote's one that goes to all of them. There's another one called Instapaper. Have you heard of that? Favorite resource. Anybody who has an iPad or iPhone wants to use that. Because, and Android, if you have any kind of smartphone with a browser, Instapaper lets you go to any particular website, and if you like it, you can click Read Later, and it puts it in a folder up on the web. And so you can go back like in 3 days and say, oh, what was that thing again I was reading? So you can read it offline, or you can read it, well, you may have to be online, but it archives everything. So that if you found something like 2 months ago and you liked it and you just put Read Later, you can go back and get it. Even if it's offline, they actually save it in there. So that's another nice one. Facebook. All right. You guys all have Facebook? Enough said. Google Bookmarks. Google's big, and Google Reader. So Pinterest, there's another one that's big. You guys have Pinterest? Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Why?
There's just so many neat ideas that I never would have thought of.
Like what?
I'm into baking, so.
Into what, baking?
Like baking and cooking.
Like baking and caking?
Yeah. So, like if I see cool recipes or things I want to try, then I pin it so I can remember it. Or things like that.
Well, you can use Pinterest for this activity. However, if you use Pinterest already, try something different. You know what? Try something you haven't tried, you've been afraid of, people have mentioned, but you don't know what it's about. Try that. Mess up, make lots of mistakes. You know, if you're really bad, I'll just keep asking you to do it again or do something else. So I don't want you, you're not going to fail, but you're not going to get very far if you don't try the new things. You'll visit them and they want you to pick a tool and then find resources there. They want you to find resources. You can download this, you'll read it. Yeah, I think there's a tutorial, and I'll make one also. Basically, they just want you to develop a way of finding information and contacts. So they call it a personal learning network. You're going to find, you're in education, right? So you must run into a whole bunch of stuff like personal learning network and 7 intelligences and 29 things to do it and so on and so forth. And people just make these up. You know, they make up the title Personal Learning Network to describe something that you might do anyway. So there's an assignment. What you'll do is you'll take a screen capture of it and you'll post it up to the Moodle. And that's all. So you read that, and I'll have a tutorial up there for you. And if you have questions, let me know. Okay? Like next week, I'll maybe give a demonstration of it. Okay? But you should download it and just get started thinking about what you want to do. Find the tool. If you like, if you've never used Pinterest, go ahead and do it. Try it. See why it's. I know everybody I know that's using it loves it. Which is, anybody else use it? And tell me, what do you do?
Well, actually, it has a lot of like educational resources on it.
Uh-huh.
You find like the shared lesson plans and stuff, and I don't know, I make and cook with it as well.
Excellent, excellent. And how about you? What do you do?
I'm an RA, so I like look for new ideas for like programs and stuff, and they have a whole bunch of ideas for like order tags and programs.
Oh, because like people are bored in the
Yeah,
dorms
they'll,
and stuff like
take
that. I know.
pictures.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, if you haven't used it, that's one to try. There's some others you might want to look at, Facebook, any of those others. But you read the assignment, and then if you have questions, let me know. Not a big deal. And all this will be in the homework. And then anything you guys are not sure of, we'll have some kind of tutorial for you, written, whatever. Yeah.
So you only want to use one resource when we do that?
I'm not sure how they have this. I think we changed it. So it's a little bit different than we used to have it. A little bit, we got some feedback from folks who made some changes. But I wasn't here last year. I was in Bali, which is in Indonesia. You know Bali? It's pretty good. Okay, so there are all these links here. It's PLN organization, how to plan your, how to use Pinterest for this, how to use Google bookmarks, how to use Twitter. Now, I don't like Twitter, but people who are in education swear by it because they can contact people all over the world. I don't have the time to do all that stuff. I'm too old for this. Scoop It is another one. And I do have the ones that I use, but they're different than this. But these are good ones. Actually, I do use Google all the time now. There is, for those people that are not dead teaching, there's a Google and Wikispaces. Has anyone used Wikispaces before or Wiki? Okay, that's coming up. But they're going to have actually a program in Boston beginning of November over the week, like a Saturday and a Sunday. And it's going to really be special. It costs like $200 to go. So you may not, if you can get a school to pay for you. But they teach you how to use Google and Wikispaces, and they have all sorts of experts from around the country that actually demonstrate things. I'm going to go because I just, for myself, I want to see what's going on, the latest. But there are all sorts of things that go on around here that are worthwhile. And that would be one thing. Okay, so that's all the PLN stuff. You can look at that. And then we have a bunch of lesson plan activities, the technology standards for students, CCSU online planning form, lesson plan example, an example of the old lesson plan template. And what's going to happen is you are going to, you're going to develop lesson plans for, as part of the project. I'm going to explain the group project for you now. I'm going to stop the recording.